all fight because can the bank out can ID card outside this country o man to drong affect bank dingol be janne e man ID card soto but government ka yina fanya ko mari so soto pour ID card di so no government ka immigration officers e ka atike e ka le pleno jo e ka le padiemo jo e ka le hetelo jo to go outside this country ka ID card di that's very ironical. You don't do that. Anytime bank dingol complain da printa tinyatele kayto le banta aketa but they can go outside this country and issue. So it's not UDP affair. Ya gambenol ni man nyomuta ngaje koku kere do UDP call mum boka finti will be very disappointed. Ngamo la nyum banko kan protest diata wala protest ka finti but ni UDP protest organize do it is no jeleje and we can protest organize men kamba banko la nyatuta UDP fala organize so kam munanda ni UDP organize protest organize e ka sila so kono e boka fintina and min la multi men ko we expect them to lead. In fact, I protest for support the political party may lead. Me along go bank do organizational lead. So this is not about UDP. Mo kana mistakes so. Ndolma mo ko man na carte of intoli. Mo ndolma mo ko man na manifesto support. Ndolma ko man do ka nyina ka. Alla banko la ID card. Ite membe siri le bu kono. Ite membe siri be television gibera. Ite membe do mo restaurant. Ite membe tabiro. Ite membe marché kono. Ite membe na moto kono baboro ndika. Iman taraja yenda talla jana because it's not about UDP, it's about the country.
Kambere musuko na ko ID card on nyami election card on
well ko ngam fonyela membe masakundal mayen kono doing this malo bandanga minister nyinen kala national assembly bare minister da ay memfo hadama do mem photo baba yeta la no lawal ina sa wadonta bare diaspora voting ota kenola say bare diaspora voting election bill membe national assembly ota pass no constitutional factor so ni be mo register come from for registration obe banno banko ne register jam but diaspora voting ota kenola 2026 diaspora voting ni obe kela banko la loi membe banko kan say o sa kenola 2031 bonno 2026 so I don't know what is in their mind doing this. As I say, I don't want to be speculative but one thing I know, whatever they registered foreigners outside ni be wala ka wala carte of fine wala foni nata ye register ba comme ka ko diaspora voting what possible no because there is no legal framework, there is no legal mechanism for that. Thank you very much.
Yo wala mo honorable Mr. Sanyandi.
Make our voices heard at a party as young people because 2026 is very important to us and we want to make sure the election is free and fair. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Mahmoud Jadalari, the organizing secretary for the National Youth Wing. Dailomi Pindin Nambi, our protest, Kaitan the Gambia and the Gambia Banta, Umbe caring our national documents, ID card, the Badarakan outside Gambia, Ningalo, Anisilo Manta, Anilua Fanamanta. So this is why we come out today. Kaitan Dunia Belako. It is a history in Gambian history because Gambia we have never seen this. The issuance of ID cards, in the foreign land. On the foreign land, it is not done. It is illegal, and then we are calling the executive and then the government, and then which is led by Adama Barrow. Please redeploy our people. From Gabon, Mauritania, Guinea-Bissau, Guinea-Conakry, please withdraw our people from that land because we all know and we are aware of the law of this country. The law of this country didn't give you the power to register people outside and by giving them, our national document. Our national document should be only, processed here in the Gambia. Personally speaking, here I applied for, a passport, and an ID. I couldn't get it because, a reason best known to them. And then we know the reason behind this, registering people outside of this country. The reason why they are registering people outside of this country is about election, fraud. It's about election fraud. So we are calling on the executive, which is led by Adama Barrow, please, Mr. President, withdraw your men from Gabon, withdraw your men from Mauritania, withdraw your men from Guinea-Bissau. As a nation, we cannot afford to have our people here. They need our ID card. They cannot have our ID card in this country. So you as an incumbent, please, we are here as young people, and then we know we are citizens, and this is our right to peacefully protest, and then to showcase Gambian people and the people in diaspora that what is going on in Gambia, it is not right, it is illegal, and it is unconstitutionally. So, Mr. President, please, with all due respect, try and redeploy your men in Gabon and Mauritania, Guinea-Bissau, Guinea-Conakry. We know what is happening, and then this has to do with election fraud. And then we must never accept this again. What has happened the last election will never happen again. As young people of this country, we stood, rise up, youths of the Gambia, rise up, rise up, rise up. I thank you all for coming. Thank
Iga kebanyana aro luwa madaga anga jamani pale passport alla kan kita ka national ID card amma ga wanne kan kita so kanji do orika leki na ko gambare mun ciya gelli kato ma koina do jamani to konna atanchu passport ana hanni kai anga di out of country alla ngana apply alla wakita but not identity card koda wara currently Kenya happen Gambia. So Mongiria on Chigi, we are heading to election package Amalato 2026 where Kenya face us. As a right time, Nangiri, Nanchigi, National Identity Card, Igake Jamanan Pale, and stop. Posuga Jamanan Pale, Allah Kita. Thank
palaso la nyimbanko ini dala dimbaye nyo saba femferendi na miyalon ko muna fanno nyimbanko ka so wala ni be bi kono isi soma mira e be minke gang is not correct banko dul bijanne ni ID card apply akitala karifula karista ba janni be la kaydol sodola bari to ko no you have the capacity enough capacity jamol wol sa sodo no fo e bo jan yata Mauritania ID card di mollaje yebo jayeta Congo ye ID card di mollaje an ñing ntalio le long but nalo nako for certain Bissau falang ibe ID card di kanjele Casamance ibe ID card di kanjele Senegal ibe ID card di kanjele ni sa di Mauritania anin Congo odon ntal yanyin ko so do ko albadi kanyin dul albe bar albe minke ga wolom nyindi ko albe Gambia ya albole tinyakan Gambia la banku fansoto albole sayndi kankoma because Gambia deal wala nyanta wasala Gambia la what saying ni be Gambia deal la kayto dala ibadi la banku koten deal la ikol ika open invitation ne di wala alnana njal ni Gambia no le nyo sabanna palaso la al ni Gambia no le nyo sabanna banko la al ni Gambia no le nyo sabanna balla al ni Gambia no le nyo sabanna munafal bela and which is not correct so but ye intention means so wala nyinde karto nyin sunya bari mbafule ko this time around karto nyinde sunya no la an na jela dol ka wuli kita wandi banko deal invite ka fo ko alkanasila Gambia kono jang mbafule wallahi no banko deal man sila dol falal te sila la nyim banko kanjang nol man sila mam maluka tapale yake nyim banko kanjang o don del falal te sila la nyim banko kanjang so mbafule man sakunda ko ila senior government officials million ko be fitino instigate kan nyim banko kan be incitement of violence ke kan nyim banko kan ye ku foila kuoldo otherwise be fitino la wulinda banko kan which me manta duwali wala because banko nyin na Cairo ana la tenku na alfal yola duwa dun tel bole no odon be min fola wala nyinde ye simfa minta ye muru ko mabang e kaydol mil bedi ID kaydol mil bedi foreign countries ya be withdraw bang yela system will put in order niyo kadal wala be bete al but ni mo ke eventual batandila but betol falal ifal batandila because ita tulani mal sakunda kono fo nyim bango e bang fo dunia e bang what a kenola at one point you may exist and some people comes in so e badela ko e be fem do ke gambi soma asi hontnole so wasifa be yamara mem fa yamara pour no na fada wasifa la bari be min lol banku dil be be min folo wolom nyindi ko nyim bango kam mo kana sila jang koteke because ni se forenal na de ka vola al kana sila nyim bango kan o don de bangu dil falan man nyana sila la nyim bango kan a jareta femfena hana jareta falla in fact we just take it naaje ko na bango e bon bangu kano kela bango defend o falambe limani ya dole kono odo on that note balbe kondonna al tarken dola ja thank you so much.
So this is why, we believe it is important for us to come out here and also express that our dismay to the president and the government at large for them to stop the conduct they are doing.
Gambians here struggling to obtain ID cards for almost a year now. What do you think government should do to address this issue of ID cards?
I've never seen an irresponsible government like this current government. They are very irresponsible. They are not responsive to the needs of the Gambian people. Because all of those things are because of corruption. Because the contract of Semlex has expired. And to renew that contract, there were serious dubious activities as far as awarding the contract to a company that could print out national ID card. So as a result, there is a slow transaction, there is a slow traffic as to how they issue these things. If they could tell you very well, the procurement issue as to the contract, as to the supplier of this ID card is the problem. The supplier has an inability to be able to supply the Gambian people with a national ID card. The reason why they terminated Semlex contract is best known to them. And why are they onboarding a new supplier, a contractor, to be able to print out ID card? The supplier does not have the capacity, does not have an ability to be able to do this. And those are the major problems. And we are going to get into this until a new government comes in to award a serious supplier to train our own national, immigration to be able to print this out. Look at the amount of money that is due to the supplier. It's a huge amount of money. All of this could have been due to the state. We train the immigration, we buy materials, we buy machines to be able to print out this document. But we don't have the immigration doesn't have a capacity recently to print out these things. So this is why we have delay.
We are talking about ID cards and people are gathering at the independent the layman out there may be wondering why. Can you explain that? Why do you come to IC instead of going to immigration? Because we're talking about ID cards.
It's very simple. It's very simple. Legibility to get voter register card is from national documents. Birth certificate, passport, national ID card, and attestation, which we are struggling at the National Assembly to erase. If it is going to be possible, I don't know. So anybody who is in possession of this national document, valid document, has a right to get a voter register card. So we believe they may be issuing these documents to eligible people who may not have been eligible, to vote in our election or to get our voter card. So when they do that one, that is going to have a direct influence on the elections. And in fact, we suspect that there could be an election fraud in this. They may not likely, or they are not even issuing these cards to more people in those countries. If you go to those countries, you get a testimony. They are not issuing these documents to many people, just few people there. But what is going to happen? They're going to likely inflate those numbers that they would publish to the public as far as the data is concerned. The amount of people they issued those national ID cards, they are going to inflate those numbers very well. They are going to inflate those numbers. And when they inflate those numbers, they can only translate them into votes. And they may not necessarily transport these people during elections, send them aeroplane or send them, anything to come and vote in this country. The only thing they are going to do is those numbers that they take in those countries are going to be inflated and they will be locally translated into votes. We know that, and we are politicians, we are a political party, we must be sensitive to anything that could likely cause an election fraud. So this is why we are here today, to express our concern to the general public, to the IEC, to ensure that all of those people that are issuing outside those countries, the data must be published to the Gambian people. National Assembly ought to ask a question to the minister to come to the parliament, not just to read the data, but to provide the data to the Gambian people. We have a right to question that, and this is what the National Assembly ought to do now. When they get back to the parliament after recess, to set a parliamentary question for Minister of Interior to inform the Gambian people about the data, the number of people they issue ID cards in each country they go to, the gender segregation, how many women did they issue, in the age category, all of it, and the region they are from in the Gambia, the villages they are from in this country. All of that data has to be established. We cannot accept and have other data from them. They can tell you we have issued to Lamin Camara. When you get to Sierra Leone, you have people called Lamin Sise in Sierra Leone. You have people called Lamin Camara in Sierra Leone. You go to Mauritania, you have them there. And they are Sierra Leoneans. Do you understand? But that is not enough to do that one. We know the procedures. If you want a national ID card, what are some of the procedures? Your mother, your mother's ID, your father's ID, to establish that you are from a particular community. You are a bona fide citizen of this country. Are they doing all those due diligence to ensure that they issue those national documents? Presently, this is the problem that we are faced with. When you get to the United States, the problem that we are facing, all the deportees that they suggested in America are not Gambian citizens. Most of them, people who they suggested that they will deport them from America to the Gambia, they are not Gambian citizens. And they are about to sanction us, they want to sanction us because our immigrations are so negligent that they issue people our national documents who are not citizens of this country. And the consequence is for the Gambians to pay the price for that.
Yes, if you a very important point here because the US was supposed to get about 5,000 Gambians. And we don't see any significant on that. What do you think as parliamentarians to ensure that moving forward, national documents are issued to Gambians who are eligible?
This is if we get to a certain extent, this is just about integrity, this is just about honesty. Because you and I are not going to sit at the office of the immigration and tell them this is not a Gambian, that one is not a Gambian. You and I are not going to do that. But we have a law, we have a legislation. Legislation also have a regulation that warrants you to have a checklist that will tell you when somebody applies, for a national document, these are the procedures that you go with. These are the background checks that you do. These are the interviews that you do with the person to establish beyond reasonable doubt that person is a Gambian, is a bona fide citizen of this country. So long as the immigration is not doing that, they are not doing that due diligence, they are not responsible enough to do that one, we have not much control over. It takes a responsible government. It takes a government that is, ready to serve the people without requesting for votes. Because they are doing all of those things just to ensure that they get votes from the people. That is the only reason that the government issued the national documents to those people. Because those people will be eligible to be able to get votes. So, on my view, it is all about integrity, it is all about honesty. It takes an honest immigration department to be able to issue our national documents to legible citizens, but not to people who are not citizens of this country. Otherwise, we pay the price for it. Yes. Thank you so much. Yes.
Gambian ko liere tatli UDP ko mbare liere ado Gambian ko nga halle ida ke hiraga hike alingira ngani siri ho gani Gambia renchire nyan lenki ko da ngana kawa sewono tikeya o dalla ga jangana kata tanjike sine nanti démocratie nankite de logaro dictatorship no gon alhamdulillah do démocratie ngida démocratie ka no gondi telengon tambala ko ngadaga telengon tambala ko be gadi sere sugadi hakile nga amba kile njire nyaga nga simmene ko haramare njire jamane kannana aganta nyanga manga andura interest mbane hasana nanti anken na hokitata jamane le munna nyi tampie nogon le ngangana hay Gambia government iga jagali because 2021 igara system beriti ran kunne ida trabalisa ko nyari ti ran kunne campaign tikenga bari gara tunanti Gambia ra mum paga wulliya iga wulli nanti igara kebe kono dangani nanti UDP kana gagné anyana malinko mbane akalle gare nyen nanti hullunda nanti jola nanti kabila nun chudangani kamaka wote UDP da because malinko mbane nan lenki jagali immenunda tuida kotancha ku jamane le mugama because jamane alternati to agunyai ado serosura ko ado telemoy angana nyi kaga kay tapale nyai kaga kay gare nyari Allah ntaka de mana kota mbana nyino kama lenko wa ken kota di jamane ken gon gelli gara tunanti Africa su kota bega Africa no gondo su ya ngai kudeta nu nganyana baro ku jamane male kudeta nga pour kudeta na nyeme Africa onan kawa tuta mautu arama baro abi chagarni aga jamane ke mundu na da ko nan dike to ko sino sikibane iwa yankana ikeni businessman nyai aga giri kinonga ati sino karagina ken timmandina ara sino karagin timmandi ora constitution lesi 2020 pour Gambia sunaha ada kenyi mere munda kismaru amare mu anegalle mu ado Gambia re munchuna ha pour seremma ga dangi tuta mundi abarara député nun tuga ara député nun tuga kun député nu benu gama Gambia kanu mi menu kanu mi family nun kanu idaga constitution keraga ibe ga ko kamero ho milio ida rano gondi idaga ida constitution ke hita ido arama baro da celebrate sasa arama barori agara constitution da bari 2024 pour nali Gambia re mu nyaago nyankina hayen sabati ni Gambia na hayen sabati ni Gambia kam wati angana irono mansa kunna no angana irni IC o hagari IC be ran kunne andan kaytinu lini anna ko ke kan nanga mo anima ke moto nanga mo anima ke khalsi nanga mo anima account no woni bank statement nim sasa ado minister suiga utu ken kana ken declaration ko ni ken nan kawa kenya ko ni jamane lemuma sasa bari gana mare igana giri serenti kiskisini serenta kawa ichekini ida manime kita ida manime hai